My beloved, it is I, Jesus. I speak now to the longing in your heart, to the questions that echo in your soul, to the prayer you whispered when no one was watching. I was there when you fell to your knees in silence, wondering if your voice mattered. I was there when the tears streamed down your face like rivers only heaven could measure. You wondered if I heard you. You questioned whether I, the creator of the universe, would respond to someone like you. And I want you to know today, I did hear you. I always have. When my children pray, heaven leans in. I want you to understand this, my precious one. Prayer is not empty words tossed into space. It is a divine transaction. It is you stepping into the throne room of God, and I, the King of Glory, lean in to listen. I have never missed one of your prayers, not one. From the cries of your childhood to the pleas of your weary soul last night, I have held them all. Just as I heard the cry of blind Bartimaeus by the roadside when others tried to silence him, so too have I heard your voice, even when the world told you to hush. I do not ignore desperation. I answer it with compassion. Prayer moves my hand, but trust moves my heart. Many of my people pray, but few wait with faith. When you trust me beyond what your eyes can see, you activate supernatural realms. Hebrews 11:6 says, "Without faith it is impossible to please God." And child, when you pray and believe, even when nothing changes, I rejoice over you. My answers begin the moment your faith is released. You may not see the results instantly, but I assure you, something shifts in the spirit every time you say, "Jesus, I trust you." But I know what you're asking. Lord, how do I recognize your answer? And I say to you now, my answers come in many forms. Sometimes it's a quick yes, a door flung open, a blessing poured out. Sometimes it's no, not to punish but to protect. And sometimes it's wait, because the blessing you seek would crush you if it came too soon. When Hannah cried out for a child, she felt barren and forgotten. But in due time, I gave her Samuel, a prophet who would change a nation. When Joseph sat in prison for a crime he didn't commit, he thought I had left him, but I was preparing him to save Egypt and his family and fulfill my greater plan. My child, never mistake delay for denial. My timing is perfect. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." You live in a culture that demands instant answers. You search Google for everything, ask Alexa, demand same-day delivery. But I am not like man. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I work through divine timing, not deadlines. The National Center for Biotechnology Information released a study showing that when people pray consistently, even without immediate answers, their emotional resilience increases dramatically. They are calmer, more hopeful, and mentally stronger. Do you know why? Because even when you don't get the answer you want, your soul knows you've been heard. I speak in many ways. I speak through peace, that deep stillness in your heart that can't be explained. I speak through my word, for it is written, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Psalm 119:105. I speak through circumstances that align or sometimes misalign to redirect you. I speak through others, through a sermon, a conversation, even a stranger on the street. But most often, I speak in the quiet, in the stillness, in the sacred silence where your spirit leans in. Learn to be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. And when you don't hear me right away, keep trusting, keep praying, keep knocking. For I promised in Matthew 7:7, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened." You don't have to manipulate me, impress me, or perform for me. I don't require fancy words or long speeches. Just come, speak, cry, sit in my presence. Let your heart be honest. I love your real prayers, not your perfect ones. I am not just listening. I am responding. You may not see the whole story, but behind the scenes I'm aligning the pieces, moving the hearts, opening the doors, releasing the provision, and preparing the breakthrough. So don't give up now. Don't stop believing. Because when you pray, I hear you. And when you trust me, I move heaven for you. My child, I know the questions you carry inside. You ask, Lord, why haven't you answered me yet? And I, Jesus, answer you now. Not with human logic, but with divine love. Because my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are beyond the clouds of your understanding. Yet I will unveil them now, so you may walk not in confusion, but in comfort. You must understand that I answer all who seek me in faith. But my answers come in three forms: yes, no, and wait. And each answer carries a divine assignment. When I say yes, it is because the prayer you prayed aligns with my will, my timing, and your readiness. Yes is my joy-filled agreement with your request. It is me releasing what I already planned for you, since before the foundation of the world. When Peter stepped out of the boat and said, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come, I said, come. That was a yes, not because Peter was perfect, but because he dared to ask in faith. Some of you have received a yes and didn't even realize it because it came in a form you didn't expect. You prayed for financial provision, and I sent you a new opportunity. You asked for healing, and I brought peace to your mind first, because peace is the soil where miracles grow. But when I say no, it is not rejection. It is protection. It is not because you are unworthy, but because I see what you do not. I said no to Paul when he asked me 3 times to remove the thorn in his flesh. Not because I didn't love him, but because my grace had a greater work to do. You see, child, the thorn kept him humble. The no was a higher yes. Yes to spiritual strength. Yes to dependence on me. Yes to glory beyond human pride. Sometimes you're asking me to build a tower and I'm laying the foundation for a fortress. That's why I say no. Not to crush your dreams, but to elevate your purpose. There are doors you've knocked on for years that I've kept shut. Not because you're not worthy, but because what's behind them is not part of your destiny. Did you know, according to a Pew Research Center study, over 55% of U.S. adults report that unanswered prayers have led them to question their faith? But I say to you, don't let my no be the end of your faith. Let it be the beginning of your trust. A father doesn't let his child touch fire just because they asked. And I, your father, love you too much to give you what would destroy you. I am not a genie. I am God. My no is your rescue in disguise. Then there is the hardest answer of all. Wait. Oh, my child, how sacred is the waiting room of heaven. It is there that you are not just tested but transformed. Waiting is not a punishment. It is preparation. David was anointed king as a teenager but waited years to sit on the throne. Joseph dreamed of greatness but was betrayed, enslaved, and imprisoned before he reached the palace. Why? Because I was refining them. I was building endurance, character, and wisdom. Some blessings take time. Some answers require the maturing of your spirit. According to psychology studies from Harvard Medical School, those who practice long-term patience and delayed gratification tend to experience higher life satisfaction, better mental health, and stronger relationships. Isn't it beautiful that science is now catching up to what I've always taught? But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. Isaiah 40:31. Waiting renews, not diminishes. It stretches your faith, not your hope. Child, if I gave you everything when you wanted it, You'd worship the blessing and forget the blesser. But I want your heart more than your happiness, because in me, joy runs deeper than happiness. It's joy that holds you in the waiting, joy that believes I'm still working even when the answer hasn't arrived. It's joy that anchors your soul when the world says, give up. I am the God who waits with you. While you wait, do not stop praying. Do not stop worshiping. Faith without action is dead. Worship while you wait. Praise in the hallway until the door opens. Keep doing what you know is right, even when the results haven't come. And listen, while you're waiting for my answer, I'm preparing you to be the answer for someone else. Don't waste the waiting. Let me use it to teach you, deepen you, purify your motives, and align your heart with mine. So remember, my child, yes means go forward. No means I've got something better. And wait means not yet, but stay close. Trust me in all three, for all things are working together for your good. You are not being ignored. You are being loved perfectly. I see the whole picture. And when the time is right, you will look back and say, now I understand. My beloved, it is I, Jesus, still speaking, still guiding, still near. And now, I speak to your heart in the most intimate way, because what you desire most is not just an answer, but the assurance that it's me. You don't just want a door to open. You want to know it's the door I unlocked. You don't just want to hear a voice. You want to know it's mine. So lean close now, for I will teach you how to recognize when I, the Lord your God, have answered you. Child, I do not play games with your heart. I do not leave you wandering aimlessly, nor do I wrap my answers in riddles you cannot understand. I am the good shepherd, and my sheep know my voice, John 10:27. But you must learn to hear it not only in the thunder, but in the stillness. Not only in the miracle, but in the mundane. I speak in clarity, not confusion. If a thought causes chaos, panic, or fear, it is not from me. My voice brings peace, even when my answer is challenging, even when it leads you to sacrifice. You will sense a deep, unshakable calm, a divine confidence that surpasses understanding. Peace, my child, is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of me. Philippians 4:7 says, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. When my answer comes, whether it be yes, no, or wait, it is wrapped in peace. It doesn't agitate your soul, it settles it. That is the first sign. The second sign is confirmation. I often speak more than once, and in more than one way, to reassure your heart. You may hear a sermon that echoes your private prayer. A song on the radio may mention the exact words you've been crying out. A friend may speak life over you without knowing what you've been struggling with. That's me. That's how I affirmed Gideon when he asked for a sign, not once, but twice. That's how I spoke to Joseph through dreams. That's how I led Paul through visions and companions. I am not limited to a burning bush. I use whatever will reach you. Sometimes, my answer looks like a persistent inner nudge, a knowing, a holy discomfort that won't leave. Pay attention to what stirs your spirit. If something keeps resurfacing in your heart, pray about it. Fast about it. Bring it to me. Don't rush into conclusions. Wait for my peace and for patterns of my voice to emerge. I always confirm what I command. Thirdly, I speak through my word. Never forget this. My word is your compass. If the voice you hear contradicts Scripture, it is not my voice. I will never tell you to lie, steal, cheat, give up on hope, or walk in bitterness. My voice always reflects my nature, pure, loving, truthful, and full of grace. Psalm 19 verse 7 says, "The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul." If you're unsure about a decision, go back to my word. It is living and active. It discerns your heart and guides your steps. Many of my children in the U.S. struggle to recognize me because they are bombarded by noise, digital noise, emotional noise, cultural noise. A study by the American Psychological Association revealed that most adults experience decision fatigue and spiritual disconnection due to constant sensory overload. That's why I call you to quiet places. Disconnect to hear me. In the silence, I speak loudly. The more time you spend with me, the clearer my voice becomes. It's like tuning into a radio. When you eliminate the static, the signal comes through clean. You also ask, "Lord, what if I miss it?" And I say to you, if your heart is sincere, if you are truly seeking me, I will not let you miss my will. I'm not hiding from you. I'm walking with you. Proverbs 3:5-6 promises, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Even if you take a wrong turn, I am the God of redirection. I will realign your steps and reroute your journey back to my plan. Now hear this. You do not need to be perfect to receive my answer. You need to be present. Present with me in prayer. Present in listening. Present in trust. Too many wait for a booming voice, but I often speak through conviction, through your spirit, through divine timing. And yes, sometimes I'll allow the door to slam shut to keep you from walking into harm. Don't mourn what I closed. Celebrate what I protected you from. And child, you must remember, I answer in layers. You may ask for financial blessing, and I begin by healing your mindset about money. You may ask for a spouse, and I first teach you how to love yourself and me fully. You may ask for promotion, but I train your character so you can carry it well. Every answer I give has a foundation of eternal value. I build strong, not fast. What happens when you fully trust me? You walk in supernatural alignment. You begin to see signs not as coincidences, but as confirmations. You recognize delays not as denials, but as divine choreography. You stop striving and start abiding. Your stress becomes strength. Your waiting becomes worship. And your prayer becomes power. You step into miracles, not because you earned them, but because you trusted the one who gives them. Now, beloved, I give you this final instruction. Do not keep this word to yourself. Someone near you is praying and wondering, is God listening? Be my messenger. Let them hear my voice through yours. Share this message with someone who needs to know I'm still speaking, and invite them to walk this journey of divine guidance and grace. Tell them to subscribe to God's sacred voice, because I am not finished speaking. I have more to say, more to reveal, more to heal, and through this voice I will reach those who need me most. Share this now, because one shared word can change a life forever.